can keep healthy, or whereas people could try to maintain their health in these last days in which we are living, in these last days in which we are living in. So this evening, brothers and sisters, I want to speak to you about arthritis. I've been living or dealing with arthritis for several years in my life. I would say from the time I was maybe around 17, 18 years old. And so I have personally know what it is to suffer with back pains, hip pains. I personally know what it is to wake up in the morning with stiff joints. I personally know and feel the effects of arthritis, but it's just through the grace of God that has truly preserved me through these years. And if it wasn't for God health laws, I don't know what I would be doing today. Maybe I would be in a wheelchair, or maybe I would be walking with a walker, to be quite honest with you. So I can attest that God has been good to me, and that he has preserved me and has helped me to maintain optimal health while living with arthritis. So God has been good to me. Now, what is arthritis? Arthritis can be described as swelling in more than one joint, body stiffness and pain in the joints, especially during damp weather. And I'm sure you have seen some of your friends when it gets cold or damp. That's the time their arthritis starts to what? To flare upon them. And many times, you know, some people don't want to leave their homes because they say, oh, it's too cold, or my arthritis is going to flare upon me. I'm sure you have heard this, and I'm sure you know of someone, maybe a friend, maybe a neighbor, maybe someone that is close to you that go through these symptoms and who continually complain about their arthritic pain. Now, sometimes there may be sharp, burning, or grinding pain in describing arthritis, or it may feel like somewhat of a toothache. There may be stiffness accompanied by pain when moving a joint. And talking about joint, we're told that arthritis basically settles a lot in our joints. And all of us have joints. Now, a joint is where two bones connected in our body. We have a joint in our shoulder, where our shoulder bone is connected to the bone here. In our hips is connected to another joint. So arthritis settles in the joint. And usually we hear people say they have bursitis. And anything with itis, it means what? It means inflammation. And so all of this is some form of inflammation, as it were. As I stated before, in our human body, you have the pivotal, the gliding, the hinge, but joints are all over because our bones are all connected together. You know, there's a little song, the left bone is connected to the right bone. But anyway, we are all connected by joints. And when it comes to arthritis, brothers and sisters, arthritis usually settles in the joints. That's why you'll see individuals, they'll tell you, oh, I can't lift my shoulder, I have a pain in my shoulder. Or you'll see individuals who tells you, oh, they have pain in their hips. And I'm telling you, when they have those pains are sometimes what? Very severe. Because sometimes I personally go through that also, where I find it even a task to get up in the morning, or a task even to drive, to be quite honest with you. It pains me even getting into the car. So what I'm speaking to you about this evening is an experience that I personally have gone through, and I'm going through from, especially, brothers and sisters, in the morning. That is when it really hits me in the morning. So although I'm up, but it has its effects on me in even getting sometime out of the house. Now, what is an inflamed joint? Well, an inflamed joint occurs when the tissue around the joint filled with fluid cause swelling and tenderness. You ever hear individuals, they'll tell you, oh, their hands are swollen and it's really tender. And it's, well, that's because of inflammation in the joint. And this inflammation this inflammation really occurs in the joints, and it's caused swelling and tenderness. Now, estimate number of people that suffer from arthritis, because we must not in any way think that arthritis is just a local disease, that only some people suffer from this disease. We're told that more than 54 million, imagine, 54 million adults suffer from arthritis just in this country. That's a lot of people, wouldn't you say? And over 300,000 children also suffer from arthritis. So arthritis is something that is very prevalent in our society. And usually doctors who are rheumatologists, they're the ones who usually try to treat people with arthritis. They will give them different pain, Advil, different type of, pharmaceutical medicines to try to deal with it. However, I praise and thank God that I don't use these drugs. I've never used them, and I've tried my best to use natural remedies. And we're going to, go a little into that. Now, it is not a single disease. There are more than 100 types of arthritis and related conditions. Over 100. So it's arthritis, yes, but it manifests itself in different forms, so much so that you have over 100 types of arthritis and related conditions from arthritis. And as stated, people of all ages, sexes, race develop the disease. And it is the leading cause of disability in the U.S. So sometimes you might hear that some people, they have to stop working at an early age. I remember when I worked in the financial district in New York, I remember there was a lady who worked on our floor. She was a sales assistant. And Marie was her name. And I remember that Marie would be literally coming into work every morning, and she'd be just dragging. She would be in pain coming into work every morning. And eventually, she had to retire. And she didn't reach retirement at that time. But the pain was so severe that she just could not work any longer because of the severe pain that she experienced through arthritis. It's like, in actuality, it's like she was like a cripple. So arthritis, it could really mess someone up if they do not do certain things to help themselves in overcoming this disease. And as I stated before, arthritis can be very painful. It's not a nice pain to be in. And I don't know pain is nice, but arthritis can be very painful. I was reading this morning in the Spirit of Prophecy where Ellen White was telling us how she also had arthritis. But the good thing about it, with her experience I was reading, she didn't give in. She just kept pressing, and she said she was able to write over 2,500 pages while she was suffering from arthritis. So it's not something that because you have arthritis, it means that, you should just, sit down, fold up, become immobile and don't do anything. When it comes to arthritis, brothers and sisters, you need to move because you need to help get that circulation going in your body. And as you move around, it helps also, it helps to pick you up, and it even will help your mood swing also. You don't need to be down or saying, oh, poor me, I can't get around, I'm in pain. No, you cannot give way to pain. So arthritis, as I said, can be very painful. Severe arthritis can result in chronic pain and the inability to do daily activities. Yes, it can cut you down, it can stop you from doing your activities in the house, but you don't need to give in to it. Many times, brothers and sisters, I am suffering with pain, arthritic pain, but I try my best not to give in to it, because if I give in to it, I will feel worse. So one need to actually keep themselves active or try to move around so that they can get their blood circulating. And so, and some of the activity we can do is such thing as walking. Yes, severe arthritis can result in chronic pain and the inability to do daily activities such as walking, getting dressed, cooking, or climbing stairs. I remember when I had a flare-up a couple, maybe a year or so ago, and it was so terrible for me to get even dressed, to be quite honest, because it was so painful, to be quite honest with you. Arthritis can cause permanent joint damage that may be visible, such as it might be invisible, such as knob finger joints. You remember the picture we just saw a few minutes ago, where this person's finger was crooked? Well, that was all because of arthritis. Now, this morning, when I spoke to you, I told you how I met a gentleman while I was out doing some errands for the office. And this gentleman, you know, his finger was crooked, just like the picture, like you see in the picture. And I saw him, he was close to me, and I said, "What caused your finger to be like that?" And he told me it was because of arthritis. And at that time, I had some turmeric tablets. And I know I might be going a little ahead of myself, but I gave him the bottle of turmeric. And he said, "You know, one of my friends was telling me about it," but I gave it to him because I felt so sorry for him. And do you know, that gentleman called me a few days later, and he told me that he got such a relief just by using the turmeric tablets I gave him. So I was truly thankful to God that the Lord put in his way, that I could have at least recommended something to him that he could have used. Now, there are two major groups of arthritis. Now, we're told there are hundreds of different types of arthritis, but there's two major types. One is osteoarthritis, and the other one is rheumatoid arthritis. Now, osteoarthritis, which is associated with the bone, osteobone, this is by far the most common type. When the cartilage, the slick surface on the end of the bones, wear away. This is when bone begin to rub against bone, as it were, causing pain, swelling, and stiffness. Over the time, the joints can lose mobility, and pain may become chronic. Now, purine. I don't know if any of you ever hear about purine, which are a source of uric acid, which is linked to osteoarthritis. High level of uric acid in the blood can lead to faster progression of osteoarthritis in people who don't have gout. Uric acid is a waste product created when the body breaks down purines, which are found in many foods and human cells. Foods that are high in purine can increase uric acid levels and trigger gout attacks. And gout is a form of arthritis that causes severe pain, swelling, redness, and tenderness in the joints. Gout is a complex form of arthritis caused by too much uric acid that is crystallized in the joints. So foods that are high in purine can increase uric acid levels and trigger gout attack. These include red meat. It includes organ meat. What do we mean by organ meat? These are meat like from animals like chicken breasts, or the liver. And it, yeah, so these are the type of meat that can trigger gout attack. These include red meat, organ meat, dry beans, and shellfish. Now, hopefully, none of us here use these type of can make it harder for the kidney to filter uric acid out of the blood. So we see here that that uric acid is very bad, and uric acid also will lead to the urine also smelling very terrible for some people. Now, rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune disease. What do I mean by autoimmune disease? Well, it means that the immune systems malfunction and attack the body instead of the intruder. So if you're getting an infection, what would happen is that the immune system, instead of attacking the virus, it begins to attack the body. So rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune disease, which means that the immune system malfunctions and attacks the body instead of the intruder. In this case, it attacks the synovial membrane that encases and protects the joints. So what does it protect? What does it attack? It attacks the synovial membranes that encase and protect the joints. And that's why individuals usually experience arthritis in their what? In their joints, because the body is the immune system is malfunctioning and attacking the body instead of the intruder. So it attacks the synovial membrane that encases and protects the joint. Rheumatoid arthritis often target not one, but several joints at one time. So you might be experiencing pain in your shoulders, you might be experiencing pain in your hips, it might even be in your kneecaps. But this is what happened. Now, we can avoid foods that cause inflammation, because since the reaction is that it produces inflammation, then we have to make sure that we are eating foods that cause inflammation, like refined carbohydrates, white bread, white rice, and I know some of us love white rice, or we love to eat it once in a while, pasta, pastry, and some refined breakfast cereals also. Red meat, we're told, processed meats, steaks, hot dogs, and sausage. All of these type of foods we need to avoid, because these foods produces inflammation in our body. Fried foods too. A lot of us like to use a lot of fried foods in our meals, but we need to also be very careful not to eat a lot of fried fruit, because it can cause inflammation to flare up in our bodies. Sodas and sweetened drinks also, we have to be very careful. One time I used to drink sodas, and sometimes I wouldn't drink, of course, Coca-Cola, but sometimes I might, drink maybe what's it called, 7-Up, but I can't touch that. I can't even go near that, because if I should drink it, it irritates the joints in my body, and I'm in pain and discomfort. Sometimes for weeks I'm battling. So I keep away from sodas altogether because of the reaction. Even milk, brothers and sisters. I can't do much with even soya milk. I have to be very, very careful, because it helps to to produce inflammation in the body. So there's certain foods when you're suffering from arthritis, you definitely have to keep away from. You have to try to eat wholesome foods more than anything else, and you have to try your best also to drink juices. Juices has really helped me too. So we need to avoid foods that cause inflammation. Now, foods that can help reduce inflammation include plant-based diet. Yes, a plant-based diet will certainly help you to reduce inflammation. And as I stated to you earlier, I believe if I was not on a plant-based diet, that I would be in a worse condition. Because, as I said, I'm suffering with this thing from I've been 17 years old. I'm suffering with this. This was due to an accident that I had in school. So, diets, fruits and vegetables, foods with antioxidants such as nuts, olive oil, and beans. Supplements such as turmeric, and I mentioned turmeric. Turmeric is very, very good. You know, the world didn't know about turmeric, say, 10, 15 years ago. But today, the world is going crazy over turmeric. And even individuals that are not really into health, but because they suffer from certain diseases, especially arthritis, they will drink turmeric. Turmeric used to be something that we used to just ignore or just consider it as nothing much. But today, a lot of people are using turmeric in their diet. In fact, brothers and sisters, turmeric, the cost of turmeric has skyrocketed. And also the cost of ginger also, which is also very good in helping with arthritis. In fact, I juice every week. Every week I'm juicing kale with ginger, and with kale, ginger and pineapple. And this certainly helps me to combat the inflammation that I sometimes experience in my body. So we need also foods with antioxidants such as nuts, olive oil, and beans, supplements such as turmeric, capsicum. Now, does anybody know about cayenne pepper? Well, that's capsicum. And that, the spice in the cayenne pepper that makes it spicy, that is very good. In fact, today you could go to the health food store and you could purchase certain balms or certain rubs that has capsicum in it because it is good for arthritis. So when sometime you are feeling, when your knees are paining you, or you feel your arthritis coming in, that's something good to use also. And of course, omega-3 fatty acids. And you know, omega-3 fatty acids, you basically get them from green leafy vegetables. And that is also very, very good also in helping to reduce inflammation in the body also. The more you eat your salads, the more you eat your greens. Some of you might not like greens, but I try to eat greens daily. I really try to have more greens in my diet to help me combat inflammation, because that is really the battle. That is what I'm really battling with, inflammation. And so I try my best to really keep on track with that. I stated that cayenne pepper is anti-inflammatory properties. The capsaicin is the main active ingredients in cayenne pepper. Capsicum is a pungent alkaloid that gives cayenne its spicy flavor. Capsaicin has been shown to reduce inflammation by inhibiting an inflammatory pathway in the body. So what it does, it blocks the inflammation pathway in the body. And as stated, omega-3s are important compounds also of the membrane that surround each cells in your body. Omega-3 can be obtained from dark green leafy vegetables, walnut, flaxseed oil, and chia. Now, these are all things that we have access to. And when you think about it, dark green vegetables are not expensive as the doctor's medication that some of us delight, in taking, or some of us believe that that's the only thing that we can use. But we can use, and we could use one. And these things are things that we have access to. Sometimes we want to use things that we can't even find or which is so costly. But we need to use the things that God made available to us. So he made available to cayenne or capsaicin, which can help us. Dark green leafy vegetables. How many of us us to get over what we are going through, what we are going through. But some would, rather take, I remember people ask me, why don't you take some Advil? Advil is very good. Or they'll tell me about some other over-the-counter prescription, which I'm not really interested in these things. As I said, I have stayed away by the help of God. I have stayed away from over-the-counter medications. I have tried my best through these years to stay away from them. And it's just been I've just stayed on the pathway of using natural things, the things that is closest to me, the things that God gives me. And it takes faith, brothers and sisters, to trust in God's natural remedies and not trust in the things of the world. But that is what is keeping me. I'll be quite honest. God and God's natural remedies, these are the things that is keeping me daily. Now, exercise. Exercise. And exercise is important. It is really important in helping us to improve our circulation and to get the blood flowing throughout our body. We're told that the right kind of exercise can improve health and fitness without hurting the joints, because you don't want to really tear any of your joints. But combined with a treatment program, exercise can add to a quality of life. And it strengthens the muscles around the joints also, and it helps maintain bone strength. And it also increases our energy too. Have you ever exercised? And after you exercise, what happens? You feel what? You feel refreshed? You feel like you have a lot of energy? Well, this is what exercise will do for us. It will help to strengthen the muscles around the joint. It helps maintain bone strength. It helps increase energy. It makes it easier to sleep well. Have you ever exercised? And after you exercise, you just want to what? You want to go to what? You want to go to bed and you just want to sleep. And it also helps you control your weight also. Because some of the people who are obese also, they suffer from rheumatoid arthritis also. It also improves your balance and improve your mood swing. Some people might say, well, it hurts for me to exercise. But brothers and sisters, that is when we really need to exercise, to try to do some form of exercise. As was stated before, if it's even walking, if it's even trying to do some stretching, because all of that increase the circulation in our body. And what about water? Water. Water is very, very important. It is even more important than some of us might even think about it. Water is very important. That staying hydrated is important for people with arthritis because water helps us to reduce inflammation. It helps to flush the inflammation out of our body. And so if we drink water, and I am, be honest with you, over the last few months, I'm seeing more and more the importance of drinking water. Over the last few months, I'm really seeing the importance of it because it really helps to flush the inflammation out of my body. It flushes toxins from the body, which can help fight inflammation and prevents gout. So water is very, very important. And we know that is also one of the laws that is one of the 8 laws about drinking water. So water really helps a lot, brothers and sisters, in being able to combat inflammation. We're told that from studies done, and I didn't get to put this on my slide, we're told that one group of rheumatoid arthritis were given a diet of raw fruits and vegetables. And we saw where it's important for us to use raw fruits and vegetables. And so we're told here that one group of rheumatoid arthritics were given a diet of raw fruits and vegetables for a 2-week period with most gratifying results. After the 2-week period, cooked food were reintroduced with continued improvement. No salt was added to any of the food. Raw or cooked, and all food was prepared fresh for every meal. So these individuals who went on the diet of raw fruits and vegetables were told for a 2-week period that they saw a lot of improvement in reducing of the inflammation that's connected with rheumatoid arthritis. Exercise. It tells another study said that exercise is the most important single part of the physical therapy program in rheumatoid arthritis. Exercise assists in maintaining optimum level of functions, prevents and corrects deformities, control pain, and strengthen weakened muscles. So we see here that exercise assists in maintaining the best level of function. It prevents and it corrects deformities, control pain, and strengthen weakened muscles. Exercise can actually relieve pain. So exercise, the author here tells us, can actually relieve pain. Continuous immobilization can cause increased pain. Did you get that? So if it says continuous immobilization, where we just sit around, don't try to move, can cause increased pain. So if you're up and about and you're trying to move around, it will definitely decrease the pain. But if we sit still and we don't basically move around much, then it will indeed increase the pain. Now rest, we're told the proper balance. We are also told, brothers and sisters, that when the joint is actually inflamed with redness and swelling, one of the things we can do, when the joint is acutely inflamed with redness and swelling, do an ice pack will relieve the swelling and pain and assist in restoring function. So when we're in pain, we can use an ice pack, we're told, and this ice pack will relieve swelling and pain and assist in restoring function. Crush ice, and this is what we're being told to do, to crush the ice in a plastic bag laid over the joint will often provide striking pain relief. So that's something we might want to try when we have a joint that is acutely inflamed with redness and swelling. Try putting some ice in a bag and crush the ice in the plastic bag and lay it over the joint, and it will often provide striking pain relief. And this recommendation comes to us from someone who was a pathologist and a medical missionary for many years. We're also told that massage, just taking a massage, may relieve pain and muscle aches, but we're told that actively inflamed joints should not be massaged, as massage may aggravate inflammation. But massage, and listen carefully, massage should be over surrounding muscles, not over the joints. So if you have a joint that is inflamed, we're told that you don't massage the joint of itself, but you massage around the joint, and around the area rather where the joint is, to help get the circulation going. I can attest also that I had an experience where I was in so much pain. I mean, I was literally in pain in my hips. I couldn't even pick up my foot. I was in pain, and I went to a massage therapist in Duluth. And I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, after the massage therapist was finished with me, I literally jumped off the table. I'm serious. I went into that room crawling in literal pain, couldn't even get up on the table. But after the massage therapist was finished with me, I'm serious, I was able to jump off the table. Thanks be to God. I was able to jump off the table. One time, it scared me. It made me scared because I'm saying, wow, suppose I should have to go around like this for any excess amount of time, how would I survive? But I'm telling you, God really used that massage therapist in helping me to really regain back to really gaining back my mobility, because I was like, I thought it was all over for me, but God was merciful to me. Amen. Now, exercise, bed rest. We're told also, bed rest is important in acute rheumatoid arthritis. What is important? Bed rest. The more acute the disease, or the greater number of joints involved, the greater the benefits of bed rest. And I personally have experienced this myself, that if I'm wiped out, and that's one of the things rheumatoid arthritis does, it will make you feel wiped out, it will make you feel drained. But if I just go and lay down, even for 2 hours or 3 hours, my body will become revived, and I'll be revived. So we're told here that bed rest is important in acute rheumatoid arthritis. The more acute the disease, or the greater number of joints involved, the greater the benefits of bed rest. Complete bed rest is anti-inflammatory. This author tells us that complete bed rest is anti-inflammatory. And I can attest to that. Do you know, when I wake up in the mornings, and I'm telling y'all, I'm revealing to y'all things I don't even really share this, but when I wake up in the morning, that's when I have the most challenges with inflammation, because during the night season, the inflammation runs down into my digestive system. So when I wake up in the morning, it is a task sometimes just to even get out of the house, because I have to deal with that before I can even get going. So Dr. Trash is telling us here that the more acute the disease, the greater the number of joints involved, the greater the benefits of bed rest. Complete bed rest is anti-inflammatory. 2 or 4 hours of rest during the day may be adequate for mild rheumatoid arthritis. The bed must be firm in order for bed rest to be effective, and the patient must be correctly positioned. Pillows should not be placed under the knees, as the position encourages knee flexation contractors. Hip flexion contractors are prevented by having the patient lie face down for 30 minutes 2 or 3 times a day. It is better not to use a pillow, but if the patient insists, only a small pillow or fold table should be allowed. Yes, bed rest, it does help with inflammation. And I remember also once going to a iridologist, and the lady was an Oriental lady, and she turned around and she started to explain to me about the inflammation that I was having, and she said to me, and she started to tell me how the inflammations, it flows down in my body, but when I rest, my body is reviving. I was really surprised that she could have, tell me all of this, because I certainly didn't open up, that information to her. But remember, most of our brethren, that juicing, you could even use tar cherry, which is very good also for rheumatoid arthritis. The cherry will really help you with arthritis. Also, as I said, the ginger, the turmeric, these are simple things that we can go and pick up in the grocery store, which we can use to help us. A lot of salad also. Eating a lot of salad, eating a lot of greens, it will help us. Exercise, and remember, drinking water. It will help you also, because it helps to flush the body of the toxins that is stored up in our body during the night season or during the day. So these are some of the things, brothers and sisters, we can truly do to help us in our fight against inflammation. And inflammation, if we don't really get it under control or strive to maintain a healthy lifestyle to fight it, it is believed also to cause other diseases also. So we need to truly look into our lives, look into the things that we're doing, and ask God to really help us to take charge of our health by truly changing our diets and heeding to His health laws. It's the only way we'll really see results in our health. Not the doctors' over-the-counter drugs, because even the medications you take, these medications will say that they're doing one thing, but they're affecting other areas or other parts of our bodies also. So the more we can keep it natural by following God's health laws, it's the better for us. It will help us in improving our health. it will help us in maintaining our health. For all these years, I thank God indeed I've kept off of doctors' prescriptions and drugs. So I pray that you have gained something from these presentations. I don't have all the answers. I'll be honest with you, doing this research was like, I was learning while I was doing the research also. But I'm sure that, if you have any questions, someone here or myself might be able to help you. Is there any questions, comments?